Yeah, this is the Fuzzy BEElay, it's based on Anchovy's Noise Ensemble. I've put a lot of mods onto it. You can make it into just a straight angry comparator fuzz, or dial it back to a more distortion-y overdrive. You can mix out the delays now. I've put a tone control onto it, knob to control the pitch, and it's got its time control as well, which I've extended from the original pedal. So clean tones, jazz mastered event through a Marshall AS50. Right, this is with everything dialed down. There is no dialed down with this pedal really, but this is the least pissed off it'll get. Right, so that's with one of the first mods already engaged, which is the mix. Originally that would have been set to max, so you would have always had a bit of a delayed signal there. But this controls the volume of the repeat, so you can take it all the way out. The tone control will make it a lot raspier, a lot more gated. If you max that out. Right. So when you've got the mix control all the way down, the feedback acts up. I don't quite know what it does or why it does what it does. It's a bit of a happy accident, but you can start to get an octave effect and all kinds of bit crushery type sounds, and it's pretty cool. With it halfway, it just starts to act as like a gain control, so that's way down. Right. One cool thing it does is the decay, for some reason, will start to drop in pitch as it gates out. I'd love to be able to tell you why it does that, but not quite sure. Happy accident. If you mess with your volume control as well, you can start to get Oxy Effects, really 8-bit sound things. So that's with the volume control down a tiny little bit. Or if you take it all the way down and then turn it back up just till it starts to produce a little bit of an effect, then you get a really low octave down. It doesn't track very well, it's pretty hard to control no matter where you are on the fretboard. It takes a bit of practice. It doesn't track very well at all. Your volume knob affects it a lot depending on what kind of noise it's going to produce. Turn it back up a little bit. It's a bit all over the place. But then you turn your volume all the way back up again, it's pretty nice and nasty. If you turn your tone control again, you get a bit less raspy and more overdrive. Feedback about pretty bad there. Right, so now let's get into the really fun stuff. So if we put the mix back all the way up so we start getting some more delayed effects again. The mix I called bees because it's like bringing in the bees. Feedback I've called more bees because you're putting more bees into the signal. It's very sensitive. I should have probably used, I think it needed a C pot, but they were delivered after I'd already put it together. So the next version will have pretty nasty, we like it. Time control controls the length of time between your repeats. I've extended that as well so you can go into stupid territory, which is always fun. Even with the pitch control all the way down, it's always going to modulate the pitch, especially the further the longer time you put between the delays, the more the pitch is going to be affected. If I turn that all the way up, it's going to get pretty stupid. It is possible to have the time too far up as well, where it just stops producing an effect. There we go. You've probably heard the pitch does affect the time slightly, but it's a noisy pedal anyway. I don't think it really matters much. You can stop it oscillating using your volume knob as well. That'll cut the signal straight off. That'll keep going for days. You turn your volume knob down, it'll cut it straight off again. The second foot switch maxes out the feedback. I'll just put 1 or 2 in there, which this offers you all kinds of crazy possibilities. I think it's easier just to show you. If you're careful and you palm mute your note off, then that's just going to keep going for days and days. You can change the pitch with this. And that brings me to the next fun thing that I've added onto it is an expression out, which is attached to the time control. And this, let's zoom out a little bit. So this guy here is my expression ramper, which I've built and designed myself. Got some PCBs printed. I'm pretty proud of it. I'll hopefully be selling some of these soon. But that's attached to the time control anyway, so yeah. I won't go into too much detail about what this does, what this one does. It's fairly self-explanatory. It's ramping up the. It's basically like standing there with the time pot going like this when you press the button. Yeah, that just offers you more fun, angry bee noises. Especially if you put the feedback up as well. I need a third leg so I can control the feedback and that at the same time. Depending where you've got the time control set, obviously changes how this is going to function as well. Anyway, I could be there all day messing with that thing. So that's the fuzzy BEElay. I was hoping this demo were going to be a lot shorter than it turned out to be, but it just does a lot. This is a prototype for basically the same thing, but with this guy built into it as well. I've got some more PCBs coming soon for this one, and I'm hopefully going to be getting this one onto a PCB as well. Whether it's with the ramper or not, I'm not sure, but I'll see what happens. Yeah, so that's the fuzzy BEElay with an expression ramper.